of course, as we get more. But let's bring in Charlotte now, who's not got your flags and your England hat as yet.
I've set those aside for now.
Until Sunday, perhaps, who knows? We shall see, we shall see.
Thanks, Mark. Good morning. England will face old adversaries Germany in the knockout stages of the World Cup. Celebrations went on into the night, both in South Africa and at home after England qualified for the last 16. Emma Hurd has this report now from Port Elizabeth.
After the sunshine of Port Elizabeth.
Sky News.
There are claims that hundreds of thousands of birds, fish, jellyfish and marine mammals are at risk because of the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. But in Florida, one dolphin has had a lucky escape. Environmental cleanup workers at Pensacola Beach spotted a young oil-covered dolphin that had beached itself on a sandbar. After gathering it up from the shallows, the team brought the pup to shore where they looked after it until wildlife experts arrived. And happily, the Florida flipper is expected to make a full recovery. He doesn't look very happy about being
Handsome
scooped
chap,
up,
though.
does he? Yeah, he's beautiful.
And top marks be able to say Florida flipper at this time in the morning.
I know, thanks for that.
Flipping heck, as they say. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at the morning pages for you. We'll start with The Sun. Yes, looking forward to reaction to that cuts letter to the public sector and indeed on pensions as well. But right now, let's get an update on the rest of the day's news with Charlotte.
Thanks, Mark. In the last few hours, a Welsh-born lawyer has been sworn in as Australia's first ever female Prime Minister. Julia Gillard, who was born in Barry and moved to Australia when she was a child.
Problem, isn't it? Yeah. We'll keep you updated, of course, on what's happening there out in the Gulf. Time, though, for the papers now. Joining us is Emma, a technology, digital media correspondent, no less, for The Telegraph.
Morning.
Good morning, which is a very important job, given what's happening in the world, as we'll see in a moment. But first, you're going to talk about pensions and why, well, we're talking about 66, but 70 now, even the age being talked about.
Yeah, I mean, the outcome from this pension overhaul that's expected to go into more detail today is that people will be working by the second half of the century into their 70s to qualify for state pensions. Ian Duncan-Smith has told the Daily Telegraph that he doesn't think it's the right time to lose quality life skills and people at this age by cutting them off from working. So,
but you are being cut off from any state benefit at your retirement age if you can't work any further or don't want to. I mean, that's the issue.
Yes, that is the issue. I mean, that's quite a positive spin on things.
Yes, quite, yeah.
So I'm not sure people reading that this morning will feel the same way. But David Cameron yesterday also announced that he would sacrifice the generous PM pension, like Gordon Brown said that he would, in favour of just a lowly cabinet minister's pension when he leaves office.
The issue is, though, of course, that the pensions industry says that successive governments have done nothing to encourage private pensions. Indeed, they've hit them, as we saw with Gordon Brown's raid on the private pensions and the tax dividend. They're going to have to readdress that if they're going to say that the state pension is going to be reduced.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to balance it out. But so far, things haven't been done, and there's very little detail as of yet. So I don't
We'll see if there's a second part to come on that. And
I'm sure there will be.
May put that to Nick Clegg a little later. He's with us at 8:30. Now, every picture tells a story.
Yes.
And this one, which is what's sort of known as the absinthe drinker, isn't it? The Picasso.
Picasso's absinthe drinker, which
only 34.7 million.
34.7 million at Christie's last night. But Andrew Lloyd Webber has said he's going to share that windfall and actually plough it into bursaries for underprivileged children looking to train to be musical theatre stars.
Yeah.
So quite a nice upshot there. And obviously, after paying 18 million for it in 1995, it's quite a good return.
But here's the thing, it's not actually quite as much as they thought it might have pulled in. And I think there was a Monet, one of the water lilies from Giverny, didn't even hit its reserve price. So, you know, things are tight in the art world as well.
It's still quite a good amount.
Oh, right, yeah, well,
and it should be able to send quite a few children to musical theatre school.
I mean,
this was quite a controversial painting, obviously. There was a court battle over it after an American family said that it was theirs originally, but they'd been forced to sell it to the Nazis during the war. But they settled that nicely out of court, now have the payment, and they're going to do some good with the money.
Yeah.
Not sure I'd pay 34 million for it, though, would you?
Wouldn't you?
I don't know, it's quite nice.
It is a landmark painting. Mind you, I'd spend the money definitely on the Monet, on the water lilies. I mean...
That's more your style.
I mean, have you ever seen them?
It's beautiful.
The whole series, just extraordinary. When they were at the Tate, and you walked in and you saw, you know, the Turners, you thought, yes, Whistler, yeah, pretty good. And then you walked into the Monets and bang. You know?
Yeah,
Anyway, there we are.
beautiful.
Wimbledon.
Yes, this was brilliant.
Well, the scoreboard broke apparently when they got up to a ridiculous score.
Did it? I
Yeah.
didn't realise that.
Yeah, I think they
kept
ran out of
tuning in and
numbers.
out.
No, they ran out of numbers in the end.
I don't think they've ever got that high, have they? So no, this was an epic match, and there was discussion. So Nicholas Mahut at Wimbledon facing John Isner from America yesterday, and they finished on 59 all in the fifth set. At about 9:10 with light failing and
Crazy,
Nicholas Mahut wanting to stop, whereas John Isner actually, even though he couldn't move, 6'9", sort of lolling around the court, he actually looked like he wanted to continue for some
But
reason.
you do wonder, I mean, what is the point of forcing the game, especially as it resumes today, when they clearly are going to be not at their best? I mean, surely they should be given a statutory rest day or something.
Well, I mean, John McEnroe suggested, he was commentating, that maybe Nicholas Mahut was clever in thinking that if he did win, that because they would finish today, they would have a break today for the rest of the day. But he wasn't sure that he would be that clever in a delirious state of mind.
Yeah, exactly, when you're reeling from 59 games or whatever. But anyway, we shall see
epic.
what emerges a little later. Certainly has brought tennis back to the front pages. Now, we're talking about your job as new technology correspondent. The newest technology is this latest iPhone.
Yes.
How different is it to all the other iPhones?
It is actually different
Right.
compared to the other updates. It looks very different. It's surrounded by a new metal sort of chassis, they call it, which gives it better connectivity, signal-wise and Wi-Fi-wise. And it's got a much higher resolution on the screen, much better camera, flash. Well, the camera never had a flash
It's
on
no
the
longer
iPhone
just
before.
a phone, is it? It's,
Well,
it's all
it's-
about all these apps.
Yes, and the
get.
apps now you can sort of organise into folders. It's much more just like a mini computer. So they're going, iPhone 4 it's called, it's going on sale today across the world actually.
But how do you know that, having bought this, then there isn't another super iPhone 2 on its way within months?
Well, I mean, that's the risk, but they kind of do this once a year. So you'll be in your contract for 18 months.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get out of it. People know that they update, but this is significantly different to the last two
So it is one of
updates.
these quantum leaps.
Yeah, this
in
is
terms-
different. I think this is good.
Right, and how much?
£200 for about...
Oh, really? Oh, it's not too
So,
bad then.
but you have to sign up for a £25 plus contract
Ah, right, yes.
a month. So
Yeah. And then when you phone the speaking clock in Brazil by mistake, you're really in trouble.
yeah, and if you do FaceTime calls as well over Wi-Fi, that's a whole other thing.
FaceTime calls
Video
over Wi-Fi.
calling.
You'll have to explain that to me a little later. OK, Emma, for the moment, thank you very much indeed for that. But let's go back to old technology for our top stories for the moment, with plans to raise... And here's Charlotte.
Thanks, Mark. England will face old adversaries Germany in the knockout stages of the World Cup. Celebrations went on into the night, both in South Africa and at home, after England qualified for the last 16. Emma Hurd reports now from Port Elizabeth.
After the sunshine of Port Elizabeth.